On the evening of August 6th, 2025, something broke. Across the United States, at the busiest airports in the world, one of the planet's largest airlines simply stopped. It wasn't a storm, it wasn't a strike. It was a ghost in the machine, a single catastrophic technology failure that grounded an entire fleet. For thousands of people, it was a travel nightmare. But what most of them didn't know, what most of us don't realize, is that this single glitch wasn't just an inconvenience. It was a glimpse into a terrifying economic vulnerability, a crack in the foundation of our hyper-connected world that could, if stressed just a little bit more, bring the entire country to its knees. How fragile is our system, really? Let's find out. To understand the threat, you first have to understand what broke. The official cause of the United Airlines Ground Stop was a failure in a system called Unimatic. Now, Unimatic isn't a household name, but for United, it's something like a central nervous system. It's a legacy mainframe system, think technology from a different era, that houses the most critical information for every single flight. It calculates the precise weight and balance of the aircraft, tracks flight times, and feeds that essential data to dozens of other systems, from the pilots in the cockpit to the gate agents on the ground. When Unimatic went down, that data flow stopped. Pilots couldn't get the numbers they legally needed to take off. The airline was flying blind. Crucially, United and the FAA were quick to confirm this was not a malicious cyber attack. In some ways, that's even more worrying. This wasn't an outside enemy. The call was coming from inside the house. It was the system itself collapsing under its own weight. For several critical hours, a multi-billion-dollar corporation with over 100,000 employees and the safety of thousands of passengers in its hands was crippled by its own aging technology. And that's when the financial bleeding began. An airline that isn't flying isn't an airline. It's a money-burning machine. The first wave of financial impact is the direct, immediate cost. Because this was a controllable delay, United is on the hook for everything. Hotel rooms for thousands of stranded passengers, meal vouchers, rebooking fees on competing airlines. It adds up fast. Then there are the operational costs. Flight crews who timed out of their legal duty hours, requiring expensive replacements and schedule shuffles. Planes stranded in the wrong cities, needing to be flown empty just to get back into position. A similar 5-hour disruption at Delta in 2016 cost them an estimated $150 million. For United, with over 1,000 flights delayed or canceled, the direct hit would be in the tens, if not hundreds, of millions of dollars. But the market doesn't wait for the accountants. Wall Street delivers its verdict in real time. For investors, an outage like this is a massive red flag. It signals operational weakness and poor risk management. The result? A significant negative reaction to the stock price. We see the company's market capitalization, its total value, evaporate in minutes. It's a direct financial punishment for the failure. This is the direct financial hit. But the real damage, the truly scary part, spreads much, much wider. If you're getting value from this breakdown of how these systems connect to the money, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells YouTube you're finding this interesting and helps our team create more deep dives just like this one. And if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. A problem at a United hub isn't just a United problem, it's a national problem. The modern air travel system is a finely tuned machine built around a hub-and-spoke model. These hubs are the hearts of the network. They are massive transfer points where thousands of passengers connect from smaller cities to destinations all over the world. The United Airlines Ground Stop primarily hit these critical hearts. When United's planes couldn't move, they created a traffic jam in the sky and on the ground. Gates were occupied. Taxiways were blocked. This creates what economists call a negative externality. The chaos spills over and harms everyone else. American Airlines, Delta, Southwest, suddenly their flights are delayed too, not because they have a problem, but because United's problem is clogging up the entire system, and the impact spreads beyond the airlines. Think of an airport as a city. When its main industry shuts down, the whole city suffers. The restaurants and shops see their sales plummet. The rental car companies have lots full of cars that were supposed to be picked up. The hotels face a wave of cancellations. The economic damage radiates outwards from a single broken piece of code to the balance sheets of hundreds of other businesses. So, what's the national price tag? It's staggering. In the US alone, flight disruptions cost the economy an estimated $30 to $34 billion every single year. And here's the crucial part. Most of that cost isn't borne by the airlines, it's borne by us, by the economy. It's the lost productivity from the consultant who missed the client meeting. It's the disruption to just-in-time supply chains when high-value air cargo, from life-saving medicines to critical manufacturing components, doesn't arrive. It's the lost tourism dollars from families who cancel their vacations. The air network is a vital artery of modern capitalism. An outage like this is a clot. A short one is painful. A longer one could be catastrophic. And this brings us to the real, hidden threat this incident exposed. It's a concept called technical debt. For decades, many of our most critical industries, airlines, banking, utilities, have been running on layers of aging code like a digital house of cards. Upgrading these core systems is astronomically expensive and risky, so it's easier to just patch them to add another layer to kick the can down the road. This is technical debt. It's an invisible liability on the balance sheets of these companies and, by extension, on the entire economy. The United Airlines Ground Stop was a margin call. It was the moment the debt came due. This reliance on aging technology in our most critical sectors is a huge, under-discussed topic. I'm genuinely curious what you all think. Is this the biggest hidden threat to our economy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I've actually pinned a comment to get the conversation started, so be sure to check that out and reply. In the end, United's engineers managed to fix the glitch. The ground stop was lifted after a few hours and the system slowly creaked back to life. The worst-case scenario was avoided this time, but the vulnerability remains. We've built a world of breathtaking complexity, all balanced on invisible systems of code. We've prioritized short-term profits over long-term resilience, accumulating a debt that will eventually have to be paid. The United Airlines ground stop wasn't the disaster. It was the final warning. Understanding these hidden systems is the first step to making them more resilient. If you watch this far, you're clearly someone who wants to understand the world on a deeper level. My channel is dedicated to exactly that. So if you're not subscribed, now is the perfect time to do it. Thanks for watching.